My 46F partner, 50M, got another woman pregnant, but my daughter is begging me to not leave him. My partner and I have been together for 21 years. We have a 15-year-old daughter together and live together, but we never got married. For the first 3 years of our relationship, my partner and I lived out of our car and then later lived out of a trailer. He was not college educated but was trying to build a business. And I was working my way through an associate's degree while taking minimum wage jobs. Around the 4th year of our relationship, my partner became very confident about a certain business prospect and invested all of what we both had into the business. The business investment ended up tanking horribly, and my partner said that the only reason he stayed alive in the midst of the depression he felt during the aftermath was because of me. I write about this because every time our relationship for the past 5 years comes to a breaking point in my eyes, my partner cites those early years where we only had each other and desperately needed each other to convince me to stay. And it always works because I feel like we've been through so much together and nobody else will have the potential to appreciate a history with me the way my partner has caused to. My partner started to earn steady income from his real estate ventures around 10 years ago. But it was after meeting his now business partner and friend 6 years ago that his earnings skyrocketed. However, around that time, my partner started to get irritated with me and our daughter very often. During arguments, he would start screaming at me at the top of his lungs and calling me every single degrading name. In the book, he would tell me that I needed to get my loose skin in my stomach cultured because the stretch marks and everything had to be some kind of disease. He made a practical joke out of me when he bragged to his friends that when I tell him we needed therapy he would agree and then just not show up. He used to tell my daughter that she could tell him anything, but now it's been more and more about how we all needed to be more grateful. When I told him I was happy for him and proud after he closed a deal, he snapped, "My success isn't your success. Okay?" Quote, I have caught him cheating 2 times prior. The first time was with a sugar baby in graduate school, 24F, that he was giving monthly allowances. He told me that I refused to deal with my loose skin and stretch marks and that I grossed him out by talking about my medical issues. I had pelvic inflammatory disease too much and that if I worked out more I wouldn't have medical issues. The second one was a 28-year-old real estate agent that worked near the city where he takes the most business trips. He said that his job is stressful and she was there. After that affair he told me that he had fetishes, among which was urinating and pooping during sex and physical violence. I tried to indulge him but he would never stop when I told him I wanted to and would compare me to how others, typically, reacted. Then my world fell apart when a couple days ago when my 15-year-old came in and cried, telling me that her dad was having an affair and that the mistress, 24F, had messaged her multiple times on Facebook several months back but that her dad made her afraid to tell me. She said that her dad ignores and snaps at her after he gets in a fight with me, and is nice to her when things are well between us. The message was around February and it told her that she and my partner were having an affair and that she deserved to know. Also a bunch of other nasty stuff. Soon after, she told me the mistress had blocked her on Facebook and everything else but she still has the messages. Her dad said this was just a crazy person and asked her if she wanted and thus was trying to break her parents apart. And then said that a lot of her classmates with divorced parents rarely see their dads and struggle a lot financially, and even told her some stuff about how her health insurance would probably be non-existent the moment she turns 18 and mine would be gone the moment we separated. I confronted my partner and he admitted to having a 2-year affair with the woman. And he said that she gave him the things I would deny him sexually, and I always made him feel less. Then, I told him I didn't want to see him right now, and he asked if I was seriously kicking him out of the house he bought and I never put a dime into. I told him to leave. And he did. After he left, my daughter became super distraught and said that she is getting panic attacks just thinking about the possibility of the mistress becoming her stepmother, and begged me to take my partner back if it meant avoiding her ever having to live under the same roof as her. I looked through my partner's things and went through financial records that he had banned me from around 6 years ago. I found out that he had recently made payments to a doctor's office that was an OBGYN and very expensive jewelry store purchases. I looked it up and saw it was indeed an OBGYN office that advertised itself as catering to the elite. I then saw a string of iCloud messages, one of which said that if worst comes to worst that I could not find out about the baby until it was born for financial reasons. When my partner came back to get some of his stuff, I told him to tell me if he got her pregnant. He admitted it and then started begging for forgiveness and citing that we've been through so much, and that he will always care for me if I still allow him to. He refused to tell me when he found out about the baby or when it would be due, and told me that he was supporting their baby and the mother to his best ability, but that whatever she did, she deserved privacy. I asked him if he promised her marriage and he said no and denied ever buying her a ring. Then he broke down and said that he did have great affection for her, but he wanted to work things out with me. What do I do? I don't even know if he wants to work things out. My sister told me that she thinks he just didn't want me to file for child support before the child is born because that would mean less money. My daughter is depressed and always in hysterics. She tries to reach out to her father and begs me to call him and asks if we can't work this out. I don't know whether I should try. A part of me still cannot forget all those years we spent together of our turbulent youth and how much he once meant to me. I don't want to believe that my partner will not come around in terms of being affectionate towards our daughter because he's mad at me. But I feel like I don't know him anymore. I also feel that my daughter will resent the fact that I'm already looking for jobs and will be the primary breadwinner, which I don't care about since I've been beyond poor, but of course it might hurt my daughter. Get your 15-year-old daughter out of this situation and file for child support now. You are teaching your daughter what to expect and accept in a relationship. If you don't want your girl to accept this later, don't you accept it now. Document all of this and leave this sob. Explain to your daughter that this is not just about the affair. It's the culmination of years of abuse she hasn't seen. And don't go into detail. And that if she doesn't want to be around him much, you'll fight for that. Get her a therapist, and you one. 2. Take him to the fucking cleaners. Who cares if you've been through a lot together? He's saying that to manipulate you. BC, he knows it works. He's put you through more. Shove him off on Ms. Steele, your loser, and giggle every time you think of him changing a diaper at 3 a.m. Ex-family court worker here. Get your 15-yo away from this situation now. And get her in therapy. Her dad is an awful person who doesn't deserve to be in her life. And your daughter needs to understand that she can't sacrifice you because of him. That it isn't the end of the world if you get divorced. And that she can cut him off if she so needs. She needs to properly mourn this relationship. Would you be okay with your daughter staying with a cheater? I'm guessing not. And setting that example will show her a very unhealthy way to deal with a relationship issue. Show her that you deserve someone who you can trust and wants to make you happy. Yes, she will be mad for a while. But she will understand eventually. Odds are if you stay with him and in 10 years you are miserable and she knows it's because of her, she will be filled with guilt and shame. WTH? Get a lawyer immediately. Do not talk to your soon-to-be ex about anything. Your 15-year-old daughter can tell the judge that she doesn't want to see her father due to trauma. This one isn't even difficult. You haven't been through a lot together. He's put you through a lot. Blew all your money. Degrades you both verbally and physically. Apparently in front of your daughter. And cheats on you. You need to split up and go after him for support for you and your daughter. Get full custody if you can. The fact that he's sexually abusive should help. Why would your daughter resent you being the breadwinner? She's almost an adult, but she doesn't understand what she's asking. If you stay in this relationship because of her, she's going to hate herself once she's old enough to understand. Get her into therapy, as it sounds like she's having more anxiety than is normal. But that's understandable given the environment she's grown up in. You want to raise a strong, resilient daughter? Be strong and resilient yourself. Woman, you seriously need to be prioritizing yourself and your future. Listen to this 64F. Stop it with the "we have so much history together" absolute crap. Your history is awful. Your future will be worse if you don't take some immediate action. Get a lawyer. Although, I doubt you will be successful in getting anything but child support until your daughter turns 18. Face facts. You aren't married to this man and common law marriage is very rarely recognized anymore. Ultimately, he will get the house that he bought. You gave him everything and he will leave you with nothing. Get a job right now. Then take night classes that will give you a viable skill set for the future. Get your credit and finances rock solid. My heart breaks for you. But you have time to fix this if you start right now. Tell your daughter that Real has come to town and she needs to help you and not be so self-absorbed. Oh, and be glad you don't have to fuck that freak anymore. Jesus. 15-year-olds don't get a vote in their parents' relationship. I get that he's your husband and also I'm sorry if this offends. But he just sounds so disgusting. Like how the hell is he gonna call you gross when he has a literal scat fetish? Like, OMG. Does this other woman really want to be beat on, pissed on, and shat on the rest of her life by some nasty old man? Nauseated face. This is just so messed up on so many levels. My advice, in case it weren't clear, is to get a good lawyer and leave this dirty old man to his shenanigans. Ew. You need a lawyer. Literally half of everything he has is legally yours. Has nobody even considered her daughter needs therapy? This dumbass of a father scared her and traumatized her enough to be getting panic attacks and not only that, but she thinks her dad will only be good to her if him and Op are in good terms. Think about it. How will this affect your daughter if you and him will never be in good terms again? Get her out of this toxic relationship of yours and get her some therapy. She will suffer the most from this. This man is obviously manipulating you. He doesn't care. If he did, he would have been a loving husband who supports his wife and child and gives them unconditional love. This guy is quick to remind you of the good old days but is quick to tell you that his success is not yours. Like mofo, you would be nothing without OP's support. Your daughter needs to be in therapy like yesterday. I had pelvic inflammatory disease. Do you know this is often caused by undiagnosed STI, besides chlamydia, gonorrhea, ureaplasma, mycoplasma, Neisseria gonorrhoeae, anaerobic, aerobic bacteria? You need a full STD workup and you need to be honest with your doctor that your husband had multiple partners. It's essential that they know this so they can culture the bacteria causing your PID. A part of me still cannot forget all those years we spent together of our turbulent youth and how much he once meant to me. That is in the past. This is the present, and your future if you stay with him is more of the same abuse you've been getting. I also feel that my daughter will resent the fact that I'm already looking for jobs and will be the primary breadwinner, which I don't care about since I've been beyond poor, but of course it might hurt my daughter. If let it continue this way, your daughter will end up married to a man just like her father, and what he does to you, that man will do to her, and she will accept it. Is that the future you like for your daughter? Do you want to sacrifice your daughter's future on the altar of feel good now? Don't take marriage advice from a 15-year-old. They'll get over it. You don't need to settle for being a nice to have or someone he considers a safety net. Personally, I couldn't bring myself to even scream at my wife, let alone do what he has after everything you have been through. I know there's a sense of wanting to keep your daughter happy and doing what you need to do to make her happy, but in this case she can't get what she wants. She is too young to understand the emotional toll this has you, and staying in this situation will only make things worse when she is old enough to comprehend what he's putting you through. Don't fear the financial struggles of the future. You will get what you are entitled to through divorce and will be rid of a great source of misery. There's nothing to think about, I'm afraid, no matter how hard it is. Your partner has been abusive for years. Your daughter has needed therapy for a long time. You need out and to file support immediately. Your sister is right. You should talk to a lawyer immediately about what rights you have since you aren't married, if any, and make a plan. This guy has proven repeatedly to be trash. I cannot imagine what kind of human involves a child in an affair. This woman messaged a child and turned her world upside down so she could win the prize of an abusive cheater. You need to get away from him and not stick around. Not just for your daughter, but to get away from someone who treats you like something stuck to the bottom of his shoe. No, I don't need to read the rest of this. Whether it's the parents or the kids or other family or friends. With E suggesting, stay together for the kids. It is not the answer. This dude is in it for himself and manipulating the rest. Divorce him. You've put up with enough from this piece of shit. Your daughter is old enough to tell a court she wants to live with you. She doesn't have to be near her father. Do not keep yourself in this situation for your daughter. You'll come to regret it and resent her and ruin your relationship with her because of it. He's been trash, and you do not have to stay and put up with this for anyone. Get therapy for your daughter so she can come to terms with it. You need to get some self-respect, and so does your daughter. Contact a lawyer ASAP, as you could have common law or palimony rights. Many states require continued support of a child through college, and he will likely have to continue her health insurance regardless. Don't stay with people who actively work to hurt you, while showing your daughter how little she matters. You and your daughter both deserve better. Your daughter is learning that this is how men treat their family. Get her out of this situation. Get a lawyer. And soak him for everything you can. Considering the fact that you supported him financially while he built his business might be very helpful.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.